Hey, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to make a super easy, kind of hearty dish. It's a good side dish. Tonight, it's going to be an appetizer dish because I'm going someplace for dinner. So I thought I'd make this. And then I found out, well, it's a long story, but this is going to be an appetizer, which is perfect for this. What you're going to do is get yourself some crusty bread to go along with it, and then people could just dip it or dab it or however they want to do it. What we're making are cheesy cannellini beans, lots of mozzarella cheese, and I'm putting in a little extra something special. But it's also in your favorite tomato sauce. Whatever your favorite marinara is, hi Vicky, you can use. And I don't mean out of a jar, but all right, if you want to break my heart, go ahead. But I'm making, and you can do this, it's really quick and it's really fresh and easy. Hello, Randy Florence, nice to see you, my friend. Randy, of course, is my co-host on my podcast, Big Conversations Little Bar. You can go to bigconversationslittle.bar.com to find all the episodes. Lori Hyland's watching. All right, this is super easy. First, I sauteed some garlic. No onion, just garlic because I want it a little sweeter. My wife says I overuse the word tangy, or that I seem to like to use the word tangy. So hello, Gary Foster. Nice to see you. I'm going to bring it down here. I got my tomatoes going, okay? So I've got some sauce going here. Sauce, as we like to say. And all that's in here at the moment is garlic, olive oil, and some chopped tomatoes, diced tomatoes. I use this really nice Italian brand that I like to get. Hello, Richard Schillenberger. Mike's watching. Que pasa? What's going on with you? So now we need to dress up the sauce a little bit. So I'm going to put in just a little black pepper. Just like that. I know if Richard Herwig is watching, that will freak him out. Going to put in a little salt, a little kosher salt. There we go. All right, we got that in there. Now for this dish, and I want to cook this down a little bit. I want to get some of the liquid out of this. I don't want it to be super liquidy. I want it to be a little more dense. And I saw a number of recipes for this. Hi, Diana. Nice to see you. This is a great fall dish. And like I said, tonight it's going to be an appetizer. Just get yourself some crusty bread, and you can spread this on that. And it's perfect for that. It's going to be cheesy and delicious. And even though it's 110 here in the desert, it's still fall, right? Yeah, you guys are, well, I think that hurricane's going to be going the other way, Mike. It's going to turn inland. Hurricane Helene coming ashore in the panhandle of Florida tomorrow. And that's going to be a tough storm. It's going to probably be a Category 3, but it's going to curl toward the Midwest. All right, I've got some fresh oregano. Love fresh oregano. I chopped up much earlier. This is dried up a little bit, but it's just some basil in there. There's garlic already in the tomatoes, so I did that. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of dried rosemary because that goes great with the beans. To finish this, we're going to need some tomatoes. Pick your favorite really sweet, juicy cherry tomatoes. And we're going to finish it off in the oven. I got the oven heating up. I got grated mozzarella, but I've got special. Hello, Joshua. This is smoked mozzarella. I've got both. We're going to do both. And if you don't like the smoke, that's okay. Speaking of smoked, I'm enjoying a really nice bourbon. Mike, my buddy in Roanoke, he's a bourbon guy. Hi, Brian. This I found in, of all places, duty-free shop. And it's terrific. It's a Jack Daniel's product. Cheers. It is American single malt Jack Daniel's aged in Oloroso sherry casks. I don't know where you can find it. It's hard to find, but it's delicious. All right, we're having that. All right, so let's finish dressing up our tomatoes. So come back over here. The tomatoes are simmering beautifully. And again, I want to cook them down a little bit, so it's fine. They're coming along. I want to cook this down and get a lot of the liquid out of that. Still want there to be some because I want them to I want them to meld with the beans a little bit. All right. I've got my oregano, and this is going to be really oregano forward because I like it that way. So we're going to stir that in to our tomatoes. Just get that in there. I've already got my salt and pepper, and it'll probably need a little more salt, quite honestly. But I'm going to start from where I started, and we'll go from there. Gary White is watching. We're going to throw in our rosemary, and we're going to throw in our basil. Beautiful. So now we're just going to stir that all in and let it simmer for just a couple of minutes until, oh man, you could just immediately get that wonderful oregano flavor. I used the fresh oregano. If you want, hello Mary, if you want to, you can use any dried, if you want to use your Italian seasoning, or if you have dried oregano at the house, dried basil leaves, all that works. There's no magic to this. And I always say in my recipes, these are not hard and fast instructions. They're just really kind of guidelines. Hello, Carolyn Malashko. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. So I got the tomato cooked down pretty nicely. It's pretty. I use these nice finely chopped Italian tomatoes. I think I can show you. I think I have a can. Hold on. These. Hello, Kathy. These are Carmelina San Marzano tomatoes from Italy. Italian chopped tomatoes. They're nicely chopped up. 100% Italian product. I get them at Gelson's. So there you go. Those are really good. Now, we're going to add in our cannellini beans. My favorite bean. White kidney beans used in a lot of Italian dishes like pasta fagioli. Hello, Valerie. Nice to see you. So we're going to put those in there. I drained them and I rinsed them. Oh, and this is about the right ratio. Some people actually put a lot more tomato in this dish. I prefer it to be less tomatoey and more beany because that's what we're going for. But you can do it. Again, I'm going to post the recipe as I made it tonight. And Ryan, Remy, and Maggie say hello to you back. So now we're just going to bring this up to a little simmer. I'm going to get them nicely coated in our tomato sauce. And again, you can use, if you're going to put in some garlic and olive oil, you can put in a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste, and you're going to get a nice consistency out of that. You're going to have to fry that down and add in a little water with your beans. But you can use your favorite. If you've got leftover marinara sauce, perfect. It's perfect for this dish. So now we're going to just let those simmer a bit, simmer a spell in our tomatoes. We'll turn up the heat a little bit, and I want to get those beans softened up a little bit, and then we're going to put the finishing touches on them, and we're going to throw them in a very hot oven. Hello, John Gordon. How are you? Come on over, man. We got food. Don't come over because I'm actually I'm taking this to my friend's house. We're going to have it as an appetizer. So to top this, hey, Jen, nice to see you. And once again, cheers, everybody. Mike, I don't know if you can find a source for this. My buddy Mike, he's a bourbon guy. All right, the beans are doing what I want them to do. They're serving. Hello, Scotty Meltzer's watching. So what we're going to do is let those simmer a little bit, soften up, and then we're going to throw them in the oven after topping them with our mozzarella mixture. And I've got smoked and fresh mozzarella, which I love. I love the combination. I love smoked mozzarella. Again, I got that. Everything I got today, I got at Gelson's. The folks over there are always very nice to me, and it's just they always have. If you're looking for something that maybe is just a little exotic, they have it. If you're here in the desert, but you can find all your ingredients anywhere you need them. Hello, David. Nice to see you. You're having a mango margarita. Very nice. Jan Darlington is watching. I missed a couple of you. Jan's watching. Wendy Maxey. Hey, Wendy. Nice to see you. Jan, are you back from Hawaii? I hope you are. Or actually, it's better if you're not, right? You're in Hawaii. I shouldn't wish your vacation to come to an end. Anyway, so we're going to drink a little of this bourbon. It's finally bourbon season. Again, it was 112 here yesterday. And so it's not quite fall. But this is a great fall dish. And again, it's perfect as a side dish, but it's also great as an appetizer. Get yourself a nice crusty baguette, a loaf from the low desert. Jan is back. Didn't mean to wish your vacation a quick end. The sherry cask business that they finished this bourbon in. Oh, speaking of bourbon, off the subject, while their beans are simmering. Monday, if you are here in the desert, the Purple Room is having a bourbon tasting. And it is going to be Monday night at 6 o'clock at the Purple Room in Palm Springs. 50-year class reunion. You don't look like you have a 50-year class reunion, dude. You look good. You're keeping yourself young. Have fun on that trip. PurpleRoomPalmSprings.com. You can log on and get tickets. I'm going to be there. I try not to miss a bourbon tasting because there's very little more fun on a Monday afternoon than tasting some bourbon. Hi, Bobby. Steve Gary's watching. Where do you find a cannellini bean tree in bloom? That's very funny, Steve. That's good stuff. He's working on new material. All right, I'm going to stir the beans a little bit here. Oh, this is nice. I want those to soften up just a little bit more. The nice thing, I got the Progresso cannellini beans. They're fully cooked. You can use them right out of the can. If you're making an antipasta, you could do that. I like to mix them. This will freak my wife out, but you take the cannellini beans and you chop some fresh tomatoes and you chop. Hi, Ann. Anna Soot is watching. But I take the beans and some fresh tomatoes and some black olives and a little basil and just toss that. And it's really terrific. It's part of your antipasta platter. So you can try that. I've got the oven preheating. So that's going to be ready to go. I need to get a hot pad. Hold on one second. Watch out, babies. Oh, I've got all the dogs full attention over here. We added a dog to the mix a few months ago. Maggie is a rescue. So we have Remy, who's our youngest. Maggie's the middle child now. And Ryan, who is our oldest. And they're over here watching. Maggie's over that side. Maggie is a little dapple dachshund, and she's like this big. She's tiny, super cute dog. I could not resist when I saw her at the Dachshund Rescue. If you are looking for pets, I recommend Southern California Dachshund Rescue. We have got Remy and Maggie from Dachshunds and Friends Rescue. They're loosely based around Temecula. James DeVito, Jimmy DeVito's watching. Jimmy, how are you? Hope you're doing well, man. So again, in the tomatoes, saute your little garlic. You don't need to worry about onion. It's going to be a little sweeter. So if you want onion, go ahead and put it in there, but I didn't. So I sauteed my garlic and olive oil. Then I added in my chopped can of tomatoes. And then I added in fresh oregano. I added in a little rosemary and some freshly chopped basil. And that's all in here. Come on over. You can see how it's doing. It's looking beautiful. It's smelling fantastic. It really is. It is just the aroma on this. And you can cook this for as long, if you want this to become more of a kind of a, almost a paste, you can cook these beans all the way down. We're not going to do that, but we are going to finish this off in an awfully hot oven, which will also continue to cook our beans and soften them up. So, all right. We have simmered them, and I'm going to check the time. How long has it simmered? Yeah, I think we're ready to go. And my oven is up to heat. So, I'm going to stir that again. Make sure your beans are full. You could do more tomato than this, but I wanted this to be not such a wet consistency. All right, there we go. Got our beans ready to go. Hello, Rhonda Henry. How are you? Rhonda's been a frequent guest on in the Desert of Recent. I'm going to bring you guys back over here so we can finish this up. Pardon the bad camera moves here. All right, so there are our beans. Come on down here. Let's see how we're going to finish this up. So we got the beans, and I've got a nice mixture of smoked and fresh mozzarella. I'm just going to kind of mix that in and even out that bean mixture. We're just going to layer this right on top. And I don't want it to mix in. I want it to be right on top like that. And I want a nice heavy layer of my mozzarella, as we say in the old country. Get a little more out of the package here. This is the fresh. So we've got a nice layer all over. Cover it entirely. Just like that. don't be shy about your mozzarella usage. It's no good if you leave it in the package. You got to use it all up. So we did. And so we've got our beans. Hello, Brad Mercer. I owe you an email, pal. I got to talk to you. Now, yes, Remy, it's our buddy Brad Mercer. You know Brad. Brad and the band The Profile. They're going to be performing at Oscars. All right, we're going to layer this with our mozzarella, and then I'm just going to put some of these nice cherry tomatoes that I've sliced in half. Shush. The dogs are very excited for dinner. Little do they know they're not getting dinner. No, guys, you guys are terrible. Just absolutely very poorly behaved. Remy, that's enough. All right. So I've got my tomatoes. I'm just going to put a few of those like that. Oh, you guys heard cheese and you went nuts. All right. So now we have our smoked mozzarella and our fresh and some nice fresh tomatoes. I'm going to throw this in the oven. The oven's at 475. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so now it's in the oven, and what we're going to do is just let that cheese get nice and bubbly. And while it's doing that, those fresh tomatoes, I used almost all of them. Remy, you scared me. Nice and sweet. Hello, Joshua Carr. My neighbor Josh is watching. Nice to see you. Guys, that's enough. As the tomatoes, as the cheese gets nice and bubbly and melty on top, and I'm going to let it get bubbly and just a little brown on top. That's why I like it. But while you're doing that, the tomatoes will bubble up and get caramelized, and then you're going to have a really terrific dish to put on fresh bread or crackers or serve as a side dish, which is also terrific. Pardon me, guys. We're going to solve this problem. You guys want some treats? Here you go. Come on. Let's go. There's a treat. There's a treat. Ryan, come on out. Go. Okay. Nothing like doing a cooking show with 3 dogs. They are outside, and they have treats. So, and we're going to have a treat. Let's take a peek at this. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, yes, indeed. Never open up the oven because, you're letting all the heat out. Can you look at that? Cheese beginning to melt. So we're going to close that back up. Sorry, that's an extreme close-up. All right. That is the dish. It's super easy. Olive oil. Sauté a couple of cloves of garlic. Just chop it up really finely. Sauté that for 2 to 3 minutes until it's nice and aromatic. Add in your chopped tomatoes. And I like the chopped tomatoes better because I like a little thicker consistency. Hello, Harry Oppenheimer. Nice to see you. My good buddy, Harry. So then we add in our tomatoes. Then we're going to add in our oregano. I use fresh oregano, but if you have dried oregano, that'll work perfectly well. Susan Portner's watching. She's got a great dachshund named Toby. So then we add in our oregano, a little salt, a little pepper, of course. And I think this is going to be undersalted, but I'll live with that because you can always add salt later. You can't take it out. Salt and pepper, oregano, a little basil, and I did chop up a little, this is dried rosemary. I just crunched it up a little bit, tossed that in there as well. You add in 2 cans of cannellini beans, which I did rinse first. I just want to reduce the amount of liquid that we were working with. I then took about a cup of fresh Parmesan cheese and about a cup of smoked, not Parmesan, mozzarella cheese. And I love that smoked mozzarella. It's just a really nice additional flavor. Then you saute your cannellini beans until you get them a little softened up, fully coated with the tomato mixture. Then pull them off the heat. Layer your mozzarella cheese on top. Put a few of those tomatoes just to give it a little burst of flavor and color. And we're gonna pull that out of the oven after the cheese is nice and melty and bubbly, a little brown on top, and it'll be ready to go. Again, a perfect appetizer, which is how I'm using it tonight. I'm gonna get a baguette, and we're just gonna enjoy that right out of the pan. But it's also great as a side dish. So, what if you're allergic to oregano? Okay, Wendy, that's a good question. Leave it out. Just leave it out. Put extra, use basil instead. And don't use the dried Italian seasoning because that always has oregano in it, which I'm sure you know. Fully drain it and replace with new water. Bring to what? Steve, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Steve. Brad, we're going to eat. Brad Mercer, I want to tell you we're going to promote your show. So don't worry, we're going to get that on the air, I promise. Marijuana, Mike, for goodness sake, we're bourbon guys. We're not marijuana guys. But if you are, it's okay with me. No judgment over here. It's illegal in our state. Hello, Lori Highland Ward. Let's go check on see where we are. Oh, we are almost there. I'm going to let that go another couple of minutes. So, it's super easy, and then you throw it in your oven. You do it under the broiler. I heated my oven up to 475 because I wanted those beans to continue to cook down just a little bit. And then you're going to leave it under the broiler until that cheese is melted to your preferred doneness. I like it a little bubbly and brown on top, so I just like to get a little bit of that. And then you just pull it out and it's ready to go. The tomatoes, as the cheese is bubbling up and getting cooked just right, the tomatoes will caramelize a little bit, and you can put them in whole and they'll burst in the heat, and that is a whole different little thing going on. I cut them in half first, so they're going to cook down a little bit as the dish finishes. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to leave it in there, but I'll show you the nearly finished product so that you can see what we're dealing with. See how good that looks? Doesn't that look yummy? And it's going to be fantastic when it is all done. So that's it, guys. A little tomato, a little cheese, and some cannellini beans, and you've got yourself, and I know a lot of people who could eat that as a dinner. It's all you need. But it's great as a side dish. Hello, David Larson. And again, I'll post the recipe. When he was asking if she was allergic to oregano, you can use other Italian spices, other of your favorite spices. Just add in more basil, add in a little more of the rosemary, get a little different flavor profile. I really like the oregano. So at any rate, that's the dish tonight. Glad you could stop by and join me here in the kitchen. Cheers. Hope everybody's having a great rest of your week. Enjoy your Wednesday evening, and we will see you back here next week with some other hopefully delicious dish. We'll try them out. If we don't like them, we don't have to make them again. Thanks, guys. I will post this here on Facebook. I will also upload the video to my YouTube channel, which is Patrick Evans in the Kitchen. You can subscribe to that. It's totally free. And then you get access to all of these other recipes, and you see when they pop up. So if you want to, feel free to subscribe to it. It's just it's a way to keep track of these recipes. Not a big deal. Salute, Chinda, Mike. Good to see you. Lori, have a great rest of your week. Thank you guys for stopping by. It's always fun to whip up something with you guys. And I think you'll really like this dish. It's simple. And one of my favorite things about all of the best Italian dishes, it's simple. It's very minimal ingredients. It's done easily and quickly. You can whip this up in a matter of a half an hour and you're ready to go. Hi, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's watching, I think, from Florida. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. Check out the YouTube channel. If you get a chance, totally different subject, but if you like podcasts, check out my podcast, Big Conversations, Little Bar. Myself and my buddy Randy Florence. We always have a good time. Helen, nice to see you. Thank you for watching. And we will see you again. Brett Coor, cheers, buddy. Drinking a very special Jack Daniels. Brett is a Jack Daniels guy, except he puts Coke in it. We will beat him later for that. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. I got to get that out of the oven, and I'm off to dinner. Hope everybody's having a great evening. We'll see you here next week.